What up, though, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Daily Upside. I'm your host, Keenan Rivals, bringing you another podcast about sports cards. If this is your first time here, we talk about sports cards and we talk about them every day. Wanted to jump to today's episode and tell you about some recent auctions that kind of, ended and what I look at to kind of determine some steals in the market. This is kind of how I find undervalued plays. This is what this episode's all about. So definitely do me a favor, hit that like button if you like this content, if you learned something today. And if you want to kind of get this content every day in your inbox, a little more in depth, definitely check out thehighupsideshow.com. Sign up for my newsletter. It's less than a cup of coffee every day. And it's also going to give you access to my Discord as well as my investment plays. Every day when I make some new trades, I update my investment tracker and you can kind of follow my plays and see what I'm doing and see if you want to join. Obviously do your own research, but I'm going to do some for you as well. So getting to today's episode, I want to talk about Stephen Curry. We've been talking about Stephen Curry a lot. And as you can see here, we have a Topps PSA 8 Stephen Curry rookie. You guys know I love PSA 8. This card ended for $1,008. And yeah, great card. The centering looks awful on this one, but still $1,000 card. It shows you that PSA 8s have some value. And yeah, not a bad price for this. When I was looking at Card Ladder, I saw that these have dropped dramatically. 2 weeks ago, this was a $1,600 card, and now it's selling for $1,000. I'm not sure, what happened with Stephen Curry, the market sentiment, but this card has seemed to drop. It could be the fact that this one is so poorly centered, but I'm just pointing this out because when I see these kind of things, it makes me want to buy. Now, I'm not a huge fan of Stephen Curry's Topps PSA 8. I'm much a bigger fan of the Bowman. I think it's a better value being serial numbered. But if we're talking about a 40% drop, for the most part, then I'm going to start looking at these. If I can pick up some PSA 8s of Stephen Curry, if I believe in the Warriors next year as a long-term play, then we can't be afraid to buy the dip. If anything, we can look at this chart. We look at the last 3 months. We can really see the potential of this card. It's sold at $1,800. It dipped to $1,200. It went back up to $1,600. It dipped to $1,150. To me, this shows me that if there's not a lot of these cards on the market, then you can probably get around $1,600 for it. However, if the market is saturated, then they're probably going to go for around $1,000. So this is probably one of the most volatile cards I've seen in the sports cards market in quite some time. And it's probably due to how bad the Warriors are. It seems like if Stephen Curry has a great game, somebody goes in and they buy that card, they buy a piece of history. And if he has a bad game or if he's just not playing, then the card dips. So if you're a gambling person, if you're looking at Stephen Curry, this might be one to watch because it does have that volatility. Of course, you might have the chance of being stuck with the PSA 8, but I think at $1,000, you're pretty safe. I mean, this has been a card that's kind of been in that $1,000 price point for quite some time, for about a few months now. So that seems to be the bottom, and buying at the bottom is always something I want to do. Another reason why I'm kind of bullish on this card is because I was looking at some larger Stephen Curry cards. His 2009, 2010 Topps Gold sold for $11,000. So it's not like the Stephen Curry stock has dropped all around. It's just that Topps PSA 8. The Bowman kind of fell too. The Bowman fell about half the price. So some of the lower end, more accessible cards that we're starting to see now, we're starting to see them kind of fall in price. And again, I think that's because they're widely available. Stephen Curry took a huge jump in price point for about a month. And I think people got excited. They start selling their cards. And because we start seeing more cards come on the platform, that kind of pushed the price point down. But once those are bought up and then they kind of go into, collections and votes and things of that nature, well, then we'll probably see it go back up. So yeah, looking at this Topps Gold BGS 9, we can see that the Stephen Curry stock is still pretty high. I want to say a Topps Gold PSA 10 broke like a new record for that card on one of the higher end auction sites. So still very bullish on Stephen Curry, and that's why I'm really interested in this card. So yeah, so this tip is to buy the dip. It's no different than the stock market. It's no different than any other investment. If you see a dip, if you see this kind of chart, then history tends to repeat itself. Buy the dip. That's not investment advice or anything of that nature, but that's what I'm seeing here. Moving forward, I want to talk about James Harden. This card was actually available for auction or for buy it now when I wanted to bring this up. But as you can see, somebody recently hit the bin or the seller ended it. And yeah, this is another thing that I like to look at. And that's just like kind of the ratios here. So this card is $2,997. as we just saw, Stephen Curry's ended for $11,000. And if you look at, higher end players, I think I alluded to this yesterday. You want to, look at the potential of that player's card. So we can see Stephen Curry's the best player of this draft class. The potential of this card, the max potential is $11,000. Well, James Harden isn't too far behind Stephen Curry in price. If you look at card ladder here, you can see that for the most part, James Harden is about half the price of Stephen Curry. Stephen Curry's top PSA 10 rookie is $10,860. And then James Harden, $6,537. Stephen Curry's top PSA 9 is $3,000. And then James Harden is $1,225. Not quite half, but a few $100s off. Stephen Curry's PSA 8 sold for $1,008, and James Harden's PSA 8 sold for $620. So a little over half on that one. So we have James Harden kind of trending, 40 to 60%, from Steph Curry. Meanwhile, this one is a quarter of the price. I mean, you could have grabbed this one for $3,000, which is probably overpaying. And in reality, it probably should be around, 5 or 6,000. This is a true BGS 9. It has a 9 in every subcategory. You rarely see a 9 centering, 9 edges, 9 corner, 9 surface. But yeah, this is another way for me to kind of make some money. If I see that all of these cards are half the price, then this one should be half the price too. And I call this the multiplier method. So we're going to come out with a course on that to kind of fully break it down. But for the most part, you guys understand it. If you watch these episodes every day, you do get those gems. But when I come out with the course, I hope you guys support it because I think it's going to be very, very informative for you guys. So yeah, James Harden right now, some of his cards might be a buy. Start comparing them to Stephen Curry. Use the market cap method. See if they make sense because most of the times they do, especially with how he's been playing. Moving on into some more modern cards, I want to talk about Trey Young. I don't know if you guys have been watching Hawks basketball. I don't know if people have been watching basketball. This is the time where I think people stop watching basketball. That second half of the season, we kind of know like who's going to be what. We really don't care until like the final few weeks to see who's the 7th, 8th seed going to be. So I don't know if people have been watching it, but Trey Young has been playing really, really well. I think I said this before, but from what I've been watching, he's just a part of every play, whether it's he's scoring or he's assisting or he's distracting. And the Hawks have been on a win streak. I believe they have a better record than Boston. I want to say they have a better record than the Heat. I might be reaching on that. I'm not really sure. But yeah, I like this Prism Silver card of his. It is a high populated card. You guys know I'm not a huge fan of it. But when I look at my data, I can't help but think that it's a buy. So Trey Young's Prism Silver PSA 10 rookie sold for $1,875. That's like half off what they were at the beginning of the season. I think right now Luka's is like 7 or 8,000. So I think it's a pretty solid price. And if I didn't have any other data, I would look at that and I would carry on. But when I saw his select courtside base rookie sell for $1,800, that's when I was like, okay, that doesn't make sense. And I'll tell you why right now. If you look at Luka, his courtside PSA 10 sells for $5,200. And then if you look at his Prism Silver PSA 10, we can sell that it sells for $7,540. So his Prism Silver PSA 10 is about $2,000 over his courtside PSA 10. Well, why isn't Trey Young's? Why is Trey Young's? Actually, we see a little update here. See, it's already happening. Well, why is Trey Young's Prism Silver selling for $1,875 like we saw here, but his courtside selling for the same amount of money? Luka's courtside is $2,000 more. That's about a 1.4, multiplier. If we use that same multiplier on Trey Young's Prism Silver PSA 10, it should be like a $2,600 card, $2,600, $2,700. Again, we kind of see one recently sold for $2,250. You can kind of see them moving up. You can see this idea, this mindset is already working. If you would have bought that card at $1,875, then you would have been up, $400 or $500. Then I may not do you very well when you factor in taxes and eBay fees and things of that nature. But we're probably going to see Trey Young's card continue to trend and hit that $2,600, $2,700 price point because it just makes sense. So yeah, that's kind of a quick idea of some of the things that I do. The multiplier method, the market cap method, definitely utilize these tools to make you some money. And it's been so successful for me. I do it every day. I look at this stuff every day. I jump in, I jump out, I jump in, I jump out. And like clockwork, a lot of these things have been working for me. Now, that's not to say that sometimes you may not get stuck with the card or sometimes it may not happen as fast as you want it to, but it tends to happen. There's been plenty of cards that I sold off. And then what I thought was going to happen happened. It just took a little more patience than what I thought. So yeah, if you want to follow along my journey, if you want to see what the cars that I'm buying, again, definitely sign up for the High Upside Show. That's going to give you access to my investment journal. You can see everything that I'm buying, selling, and all of that good stuff. I just updated it a few days ago, so all the links are working. If you wanted to do the investment tracker yourself, there's also a link in the bio for that. So definitely check that out if you want to see more plays like this. If you want to find your own plays, I highly suggest you look at the market cap method. Right now, I have it on sale for half off. It's $48.50, typically $97. You definitely want to pick this up if you want to find your own plays, because it's going to break down everything we talked about today in detail. So you don't have to wait for daily upside. I hope you come back and listen. But what I want you to do is be able to find your own plays, because this is going to be the future of investing, especially if we're talking about sports cards, but really all assets. So definitely check this out. If you guys haven't already, shoot me a follow on Instagram. I'm going to be posting some really interesting stuff there, as well as a question of the day. I post a question every day, and I want you guys to engage in it. As you can see, we're back to creating content every day. We're not going to let this lack of studio stop us. So I hope you guys like and subscribe and stick along for the journey. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Happy investing.